Hello, everybody. Matter of fact, let me move this. Let me turn this a little bit. There we go. I did some adjustments out here. Been trying to get this arm back in shape, and it's a tough time. So let's talk a little bit, very quickly. For the last, I want to say 10 to 15 days, I've been trying to wrap my head around a game that I just discovered. This is the 4th edition of it. And, you know, to put it mildly, okay, High Frontier for all, 4th edition. It is one of the most fascinating games I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, I'm not a very bright guy. Haven't been. I think some of it has to do when I was younger. I think I was about 3 years old. I fell off the top. We had stairs in the apartment that my parents had lived at that time when I was very young, and there was no railing. And I went to grab the light, and I fell onto the concrete, and I hit my head pretty hard. So I have a hard time comprehending a lot of things. Now, I mean, you can hit me with a brick, a bat, or whatever. It ain't gonna affect me. You know, one of my greatest things is my strength, not my brains. But that doesn't mean my passion or my love for highly intelligent games aren't there. It's just when you run into something like this that was created by basically a rocket scientist. My love for space, outer space, is probably about as strong as anything I've ever cared about. Dungeon crawls and all that stuff. And this here, I took one look at this map. Now, I bought this game from Miniature Market, and they have a ton of them. But one of the reasons I got it was, you know, I looked, I said, High Frontier, what's this? Never heard of it. I don't proclaim to be the greatest know-it-all gamer. I don't even proclaim to be a gamer. I'm just somebody that likes to play games. I like to paint and play games. It's been my whole life. Okay, that's who I am. So when I saw this, it looked really interesting, and of course it said it had one-player advantages. I went, oh, okay, well, let's bring it in from Miniature Market. It'd be interesting for the stream. And I knew nothing about it. I opened up the box, and I went, oh my God. Okay, what do we have here? Well, what we have here is probably one of the most ingenious games I've ever seen in my entire life. This is about as real as it gets, and I'm going now. I moved some cameras. We have all new camera angles, particularly because of what we have coming up. But it really works for this particular thing. And let me just move this out of the way. Oh, forgive me, my arm. And I'm not going to pretend to be able to explain this to you. I'm kind of getting this out again and just kind of going over what I picked up so far, and kind of let you make a decision for yourself on it. So we're going to try a couple things, and I figure I'd do it live. And you know, maybe some of you have played this before. I'm sure there's people out there that are a lot smarter than I am, and really fits in. I have struggled for the Galactic Empire, but we're talking about High Frontier now. One of the things that we're going to be doing, you know, I sometimes I like to go back and forth, and I really like. I'm going to do Space Empires, but I played that before. You guys seen it, and I plan on doing that. But this thing has just made me keep on coming back to it and back to it and back to it, even though I can't seem to process everything. And I want to show you why. Because there's a couple of things that you're going to see here. And you're going to see this here. And either you're going to be terrified of this map, or you're going to look at this map and go, oh my God. And I'm one of those guys that look at this map and go, oh my God. So let's take a look. Let's do it from here. All right, here we go. Oops. You see, this is the problem with some of these cameras. Okay, so this is the map. This is the map. Now, what we did is I finally mounted the big boy camera. And now we can kind of go all around here and kind of zippity doo dah through the whole thing. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to let, there we go. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So, right over here, I gotta go up a little bit more. Hold on. Stay with me. It's a terrifying map, but it's so ingenious. There's something here that just keeps drawing me here and drawing me to it, and I can't let it go. I refuse to let it go. Here's Earth. Okay, this is where you're going to start. The whole point of this game, and I'm going to pull this out just so you can get a really good feel for this. Okay, there's a couple ways to play this. You could play this together. Okay. All right, there we go. Yeah, all right. Why don't we do this too? Zoop. All right, so this is only part of the map, and I'm going to concentrate right here. And the thing here is, this is using realistic types. Glorious. It's not as bad as it seems once you understand what it is it's showing. Exactly. That's a great point, game line. And this is where I want to hit this home. I'm sure there's 1,000 other videos out there. I haven't looked at them because I just had my head in the thing. But I just want to talk about this a bit. You are building your rocket, okay? And what you're trying to do is colonize and industrialize the universe. Okay, this is the real universe, and there are 15 billion different ways to go, and each way you go, you've got to count for certain things. Okay, how do I want to do this? Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna zip in on a certain part of the map here. So this camera up here is close enough so when we need to talk about some things, we can. All right, there we go. All right, so for instance, every time you touch one of these pink spots here, that's when you're going to have to burn. Now, we'll be talking about burn a little later. Mercury. Now, this is the planet Mercury, but you have a couple different ways where to land on it. Your main fuel is called aqua, okay, which is water. You're going to be using water as fuel, okay? The mode that makes easy entry from space diamonds to core. See, that's where I kind of skipped because I was really fascinated with a certain I'm going to show you here. Hold on, bear with me. With one of the solo modules, because I have to do the solo. I'm fascinated with a module that takes you from Earth to these two asteroids over here. And you could barely see them, but we'll focus in on them. These two asteroids are heading towards Earth, and they're going to destroy Earth. And you have to land and claim them, and then get some factories on them. If you claim them, it's going to be all right, because by claiming them, you're going to be able to put factories on them, which are going to cause you to control them and possibly have them go into the sun instead of hitting Earth and destroying everything. I'm fascinated with that. So you have, and I want to show you up above here, you have a certain amount of time. Here, this is a clock. Each turn, each thing you do is a year, okay? And you only have 2 years to try to build your rocket and get it over here. Now, how does that all work? Not so fast, my friends. I will explain it as best as I could. You are going to be buying, first of all, you're going to pick, and this is where I really get messed up here. You can either run dirt. Okay, let's go over to this camera here. Okay, right here, there are two numbers. This is your thrust number. Now, thrust is really important because in order to land on a planet, there's two numbers here. There's a 9 and an H. You're going to need at least 9 thrusts to land on here, unless you try a dangerous entry, which isn't cool. You're going to need water, okay? And that's how many burns you're going to... every time you burn, you're going to burn 9. We'll explain that as best as I can. You also have a thing called afterburner. I'm trying to figure that out. Each as you can see, each crew, you have SpaceX, you have NASA, which is cool, and stuff like that. I don't know how this affects the crew, but you pick one crew, all right? Launch fees, +1 aqua from pool after any player performs a boost operation. Okay, so I'm trying to pick somebody that's going to be... I'm felonious. You could do felony, which is just insane. Starts game with +2 aqua. Okay, all right. So I'm going to go with the United Nations. Okay, so I'm gonna pick them. So we're going to go back to our overhead. There's a lot you can hear, and the whole solo thing is what's got me interesting. Now over here is LEO. That is low Earth orbit. Okay, and that is right here. And let's go to our other camera. I mean, there's so much to cover. I'm really trying to... Space is hard. Nothing worse than failing a roll and your rocket blows up. Yeah, you could blow up a rocket and kill a whole bunch of peeps. Not cool. Not cool by any means. All right, let's move up here. Okay, there we go. God, I love this camera. Thank God. It saves my life. So we're going to be starting here. Okay? Our whole point is to get all the way... Come on. I gotta put my finger here so I can see when my finger shows up. Okay, right there. I want to get to these two. These two I have to take care of. So I want to show you. You have this player aid, which really kind of helps you. You're allowed to move any spacecraft, perform any number of free actions, and one operation in any order. Now, in the normal two-player game, and let me just zip out here a little bit. Okay, good. Because it's going to help us here. You're going to... Normally, you would pick a card, okay? And you would auction for it, okay? You get 1 aqua each turn. Now, for this game, you start off with 6 aqua. And aqua are these... The quality of the components are just ridiculous. This board is just absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to start off with 6. Hold on. 6 aqua. 1, 2, 4, 6. And then at the beginning of my turn, I do get 1. And because... Start the game with +2. Okay. So 1, 2. Alright, so there we go. So that's our aqua starting off. Okay. Normally, if you're playing with a bunch of people... Okay, you have these 6 things. These things are going to help you build a rocket, okay? And what you want to do, you can only have 4 in your hand before you can put them in lower Earth orbit. And it's going to cost you because mass is a big thing here, okay? How heavy your rocket is really going to affect you how you get the... This game is so brilliant. It's frustrating for somebody like me. And the reason I'm showing this to you, and basically, and I'm going to come up top for a second. The reason I'm showing this to you is that you got somebody that's stupid like me, okay? I'm not a very smart person. But I don't want to give up on this. I think this is just absolutely gorgeous. It's fascinating. If you are a space nut, you're going to love this. This is, I got to consider this almost like a holy grail type of game because of just you just can't walk away from it. You can't. And the real life things here that kind of you need to have a reactor. You need to have you need to boost a thruster to get you off the ground. How heavy your rocket is going to hurt how you boost to get to outer space. And there's certain things that you're going to need. You're also going to need robonautics, because once you get to your destination, you're going to need a refinery and robonautics. So, you're going to have to take that. What things match up? You're going to have certain things, because each card has a different symbol on it, that you're going to have to match certain things. You have radiators that are going to cool certain reactors. So you're going to have to purchase those. So you're going to spend a lot of time trying to purchase things before you even get off the planet. Now, if you're playing with a bunch of people, you're going to be bidding. But in the solo variant, each card costs one. But when you pay for a card, that's going to cost you a year because it's a technology that you're going to have to put into your thing. Just as not a smart person, Rob, don't put yourself down. Listen, know your strengths. I mean, I could punch a hole through 90% of the people I know, okay? But I also know that in the gamer world, I'm on the lower end. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Do I enjoy it? Is it hard to comprehend certain things? Sure. There's a lot of you out there that have the same problems, and being able to come out and say that and not try to be the sharpest tack in the box or be one of those snotty dungeon crawl idiots that put down everything and say things because they think they know everything better than everybody else. No, what I want to do, the whole point of this channel is to bring it down to earth. I'm like one of you. Okay, I don't put myself here because I play a million games, and some of you maybe play a few games. I put myself where I belong, and that's with the rest of us. And that game line says NASA's good. All right, if I take NASA though, because we're going to try to do a little bit here, and game, of course, having somebody like Game Line around who really understands the game may help us comprehend this, and it may make you want to go to Miniature Market and go pick this up, because it's not a very expensive game, but it's a game that you can't let go. If you look at this map and go, my God, I'm fascinated. Okay, I think that's half the battle of this game. Okay, because I'm a big space fan, and when you take something like this and you build this incredible experience, I never knew the guy. I don't know the guy. I don't know designers. Okay, I know very few, and if I know them, they're probably because they're my friends. But this Phil Eklund, from what I understand, is a true rocket scientist. And he created this. And this has been around for a lot of years. This is the 4th edition. And each edition, it changes a little bit. But this is brilliant. And it's not about, just to finish Jess's question. I just want you to know the truth of things. Okay? I'm not afraid to say I'm not that smart. That I don't comprehend a lot of things. And that, a lot of times we come on here and we try our best to give you a feel of things, okay? And make mistakes so you don't. This was a grail game to me because it was impossible to find before. When I saw the new version, I had to have it finally. Andrew, I'm so happy that you have it, and that's the most important thing. All right, let's go back to the table here and see if we can kind of try to figure out things. So, in the game, I'm going to pay 1. And then, if I don't want that card, because you have to dig through here to get the cards that you really need. Yeah, the expansions, which I do have. Hold on. Oh, trying to pick things up with this arm. Colonization and Terawatt and Futures. Okay, let me tell you something. We're not ready for this. Okay? I suggest you get all 3, have them on hand, and grow with this as you can. This is just... whew. I haven't even opened it up because I refuse to until I finally grasp this. And for me, this is really, really a grail game. Now, what I don't understand here, Game Line, and maybe you can answer this for me. It says launch fees. Do I have to pay an additional aqua from the pool after player performs a boost operation, or yeah, that's what it looks like. 1 mass. and 4 rad. Rads are another thing. I don't understand why the crew has this here. This confuses me. All right, does that mean that we have 14? That we have 14 booster? I mean thrust, and it costs 8 each time. Can I use? I mean, do I use this? You know what? It's not going to hurt me any. So I'm just going to swap out for NASA. Let's go with NASA. I'm still going to use the white things. All right. So how's the rule book? Thick. And it does take some reading. Now here's the way it goes. They make this very, very simple for you. And of course, you know, you have this. It tells you to read this first. Hey Tina, how are you? So it tells you to read this, and then if you want to start, if you're a board game novice, after a fast, lightweight family game, you're gonna start with the Space Diamonds. Then, if you're an experienced board gamer who's never played High Frontier, you want to go Race to Glory, where they have their own cards right here. All right. And then you use the core rules. But if you played this game before, you want to go core rules, appendix, and then you want to add in all the other glorious stuff that goes with it and just play the whole thing. I should start at Space Diamonds, but for me, I just, because it's one player, I'm trying to I want to try to figure out the one player variant here. So, and how brilliant this is. I'm afraid of this game. That's why I keep playing Space Corp and keep waiting for an expansion for it. Space Corp is a great game. I have Space Corp. I love Space Corp. But I'm telling you right now, I can't let this go either. I just refuse to, especially being a space nut. So I'm gonna kind of try to explain things and kind of go through things, and if I mess it up, hey, forgive me. But I'm sure there's plenty out there that will help you along the way. You have multiple thrusters on a rocket. Choose which to use. So if I decide to use the NASA thrusters, that's going to cost a lot. All right, so I'm going to mix these up a little bit, okay? You got these reactors and things like that can help and stuff like that and so forth and so on. And, you know, boom. I'm going to mix these up too. Because you have to take the one on top. So I'm going to kind of show you how this kind of goes. And I'm not looking at these. I'm not looking at these. I'm not looking at these. All right, there. Oops. I'm going to put this one on the bottom because I saw what it is. I'm not looking. I'm turning my head. I'm turning my head. Now, if you're playing multiplayer, as you work your way out into the universe, there's these glory points. You're going to be trying to get points. But for the one player, there's a CEO version where what happens is, and it's very fascinating, you're going to be trying each year to meet what the board wants. If you don't, you're going to lose your funding, and that's going to be it, which is just absolutely freaking brilliant. All right, so this is the way everything's going to start. Yeah, but GameLine, if you can have multiple thrusters, can you use these thrusters here? That's what I'm confused about. All right. So the way a turn starts, okay, is we have a few choices in operations. We can research auction. Well, first of all, you start the turn with getting 1 aqua. Okay, we got an aqua. All right. Then you have research auction, free market. Okay, you can sell back and get 3 aqua. So if you buy a card here for 1, you can sell it back. But what you're doing is you're getting more aqua and more fuel. But the problem is that each turn is a year. So you're losing years. Okay, we need to stop these two from getting here, and we've got to figure out a flight pattern on how to get there. Now we'll talk about flight patterns once we go down there, and I'm going to talk about some of these things real quick. No, we want to go there. Oh, okay. Hold on. All right, we'll come back to this. Well, yeah, we'll come back to this. Why don't we do this? All right. Okay. And then on the other camera here. All right. So here's our objective, and there's a whole path that we need to take to get there. It's just how the heck are, all right? You know, we're going to start here, and then we have to kind of try to work our way through things, and through here, and there's certain turns that you have to take, and you're allowed to. Whoa! Buying Rob lunch so he can regain the brain cells lost in learning this game. Let's see if our beloved Tina, if Godzilla loves Tina enough. Since Tina hasn't been around, she doesn't know that we have a new grandson. That I shattered my arm, which, look, Tina, look at the scar here. I'm finished. Not really. Here we go. Come on, music for Tina. Whoa. Oh, God. Tina, I'm sorry. The big G's very greedy. Big G's very greedy. All right, so we have our operations, and then we have our free actions in here. ISRU, we'll talk about that as we talk about planets, because you always want to have as I start picking out cards, we'll start looking at ISU and what's going to be good for us. All right. So the first thing here, and what I wanted to do is I really want to zoom in on this particular, as I knock everything over. Okay. That's going to help us there. Okay. That's going to help us there. I'm going to move that keyboard over a little bit. Hold on here. And I'm doing my best to kind of show you how much I know. And that's not much. This might be the most beautiful map I've ever seen. See? This is what sucks you in, bruh. That's what sucks you in. Okay, right here. Okay. So we're right here. And like I said, we want to go off the map here. But I just want to talk. There's radiation. Okay? You're going to run into radiation. That's going to be a problem as well. So radiation belts, you're going to roll a d6. And depending on what your rads are, if you have anything under that roll, because you want higher rads. So like a 5 here, when I roll a d6, okay, well, that's a 1, which is fine and everything like that. Usually something bad happens on that. But as long as I'm over that rad hard, I'm okay. You can tell this dice just wants to roll ones. There's going to be things that you're going to be doing checks and stuff like that. And when you roll a 1, if you roll a 1, you're going to blow up. It's plain and simple. You don't want to blow up. Trust me. On here, as you can see right here, that's how much water you have. Rob, I'm glad the cast is off. Yeah, it's going to be a while until my arm goes. The day Rob Warren is finished is the day the world ends. Thank you, AJ. I woke up, rested from REMs. I could barely find my mouse, let alone going to Mars. Well, listen, we're not going to Mars. We've got to take these asteroids out. So, all right, let's go top down here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a car. Now this is kind of interesting. But the thing is, there's an X here, okay? There's an X and a thermometer here. I need that, okay? I need to have those two in order to get this to work, okay? It has 1 mass, 0 rad hardness. Oh, that's not good. I need something with a little bit more. I think I'm just going to buy this for 1. I'm going to put this back in the bank here, just so I can have this and then trade it in. Trade it in to get 3 at some point, because I almost rather have this with 2 mass and 5 rad hard, and all I would need is a generator to go with it. And you want to have something with rad hardness that's going to help you out. This guy has no mass. He has 3 ISDs. Okay, that can help us. The lower the number, and there's different types here, the lower the number, the better off you are. All right. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to put this in our hand. So now what happens, I believe, is we can do a free action, but there's nothing really here that we need to do here in the free action area. Okay, so we're not worried about that. All right. Let's see. I need to give up Kickstarter. Everything you buy comes in 5,000 pound. This is just absolutely fantastic. So what happens now is I move this. Now because I move this, I roll a d6 because there's an event that'll happen. So there's all kinds of bad things that happen. And on a 3, glitch. Each player places a glitch disc on their stack with the most cards that have either a glitch or non-human. Well, I don't have a glitch, so that, I don't think that's going to fall into line here. All right. So now, it would come the next turn, and I would sell this card from my hand to get 3 aqua. And that would go on the bottom of the deck here. So now, I'll get 3 aqua for that. Let me just take some extra aqua here. I'm trying to do this as quick as possible because I don't have a lot of time. So there's 3. So I need to get stuff into the lower orbit, but I have to have something that's really going to help me here. So this would give me 3 thrust and 2, and it would cost 2 fuel. So this one I'm going to go with, and would help me land on a C, but that's an S. All right, I'm not worried about that right now. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pay 1, and then we're going to move. All right. Another year has gone by, but this time we got the thruster that I want. Okay. Next year, well, I need to get the generator to protect that, or a refinery. Well, no, I think I want to, if I go this generator here, I'm going to need a coolant. So I'm going to buy this. So I'm going to get a generator, which is going to cost me 1. And then another year during the yellow season. Okay, so now I'm going to roll this, hopefully. 3, glitch. Well, I don't have anything in space, so it can't glitch. Gotta go, brother. Emailed you about this game. It is a beast, but I promise you, once you see it, it makes more sense and is not as intimidating mechanically as it first appears. All right, so we've got something going here. All right. So now it's another turn. So I've got my generator, but now I've got to get, I believe I get, you get things for free. I think I can get an X. Okay, so I'm going to need a radiator. And I'll buy a radiator. So I want to buy a radiator. Okay, that's going to move this. So the years start to go by, and this is where it gets kind of dangerous. I need to get these things into lower orbit. And by getting that, by buying that, so now I have that, then the next thing I need is a reactor. So we'll buy this reactor. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to get, for each turn, 1, 2, 3. See, I should have got 3 back. And I'm going to pay 1. All right, there we go. So now I have enough to get into outer space and get this up. Okay? And I would have to pay to get it into lower orbit. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to pay that much aqua just to get into the lower orbit. So now that's where my ship kind of resides here. Boop. We're in lower orbit. Okay. So let's go over here. All right. So now that I got that, all these cards, because I only can keep 4 cards in my hand. All right. So this is considered patents. Okay. So I have this, and I could put this in orbit. But what I need to do is I need to get some robonautics, and I need to get some refinery. Okay. And by having that, as long as I have the one of the other, as long as I have a generator, it'll be able to use these two here. So that's going to be good too. So I'm going to move this, I believe, and I'm going to buy this robonautics, which is going to give me a buggy 3. That is key, because when you go to land on something with water and refuel, you can only do it for things that are less. So I get one and I put one back. All right. So this is in my hand right now. And then we move this, and then we're going to buy a refinery, because when we get here, we're going to be able to do that. That is going to cost 1, but I get 1, so I'm going to leave that there. Now I need to pay 3 mass to get it up into space. All right, I do that. And now it's part, I've hooked it all into this thing here. So now all these cards kind of create this thing. But here's the thing now. If you want to take off, this is where it gets interesting. And again, I'm trying to figure this out as I go. Hold on. All right, so I want to concentrate on this a little bit. And I'm going to come down a little bit. All right. Now, what I have here is 2 mass, 3 mass, 4, 5 mass, and now 8 mass. Okay? So I have 8 mass in the lunar orbit, and that is considered my dry mass. Okay? So I'm right on the cusp here. Okay? Which is good. So I'm kind of a scout with a net thrust of 0. Okay? Now, if I wanted to start traveling, I have 3 aqua or fuel. And I would calculate that in, and you would go 1, 2, 3. Okay? So this is how this works. Okay? So here's my dry mass, my weight of my ship, and then fuel. Now when I go to move, or I run into an area, it's going to cost me 2 for each boost that I do. So it would be 1, you go up, and then 2. And if I needed to do another boost, 1, and then 2, and then 1, and then I'm out of fuel. So I would get 3 boosts. 1, 2, 3. Place rocket figure to indicate. Okay, so now, and because I have a thrust of 3 and no afterburn, that's all I would have. Now it costs 1 to land on this, so that's not the worst thing. It's just, how do I get out of here? Okay, so number 1, I would thrust 1. Okay, well, hold on. Let's go over here and take a look. I believe, all right, we're going to go up here. I'm going to start trying to plan out how we're going to get there. Okay. So now, 1 thrust, I would have to go through the radiation belt, which makes sure that as long as I have the thrust to do it, let's just check. because that's where I get a little confused with radiation. Radiation belt spaces. D6, subtract net thrust +2. If in a sunspot cycle, which is red, okay, so we get +2 to our roll. Decommission cards with lower rad hardness. And that's not good, right? Anything with a lower rad. So this is where you would kind of hope that you roll, okay, 3 +2 would be 1. So you would come here and then you would look at your cards. Well, I have a rad 5, which is 5, a rad 3, a rad 5, and a rad 3, which would get me through. All right. Perfect. Exactly what I need. Then I would come here, I would boost again. So that's 2 boosts. And you are allowed to do, I'm allowed to boost 3 times. I'm allowed to do net thrust. I can thrust 3 times in one turn. So that would be 1, 2. This is a free space. And then I would boost here. So that's 3. And I would stop right here. Okay, so in one turn, I could do this. I can go 1, 2. That doesn't cost anything. You come here. I can pick up this line because it connects into here. Another boost, and then here, and I would stop right here, and that's where I would end my turn. Okay. But for the way I'm thinking, I think I still need to get some aqua here. So I don't even want to get to that point. So here we are in dry dock right now. And I think I would buy another card and see if there was something that would, well, this would give me +2 thrust. 1-to-1. That would be a dirt. Or I can go with a radiator that's a little bit better than the one I have. Yeah, you know something? I would waste a year here. Buy this. And I can decommission. That wouldn't cost me anything. I still would be here. I can replace it with this one and sell this one on the following turn, which that's the way I would do it. I would get one, sell this for 3, and then pay to put it in orbit. I believe that's a free a free action here. Build a colony, transfer cargo. Yeah, I can do that. Decommission for humans, freighter. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Again, this is how this works, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's a brilliant game. Once you have your rocket all set and you want to go, you move this off to the side. And of course, you got to have your crew in there as well. All right. So after thrust, so thrust gives you +1 thrust. Okay, so all this would be like so. So making sure that I have things that I need, such as my thruster needs E, my refinery needs E. Well, I've got E here. I've got this that pays this. I've got 2 here, right? Then the X comes here in my reactor. Okay. My crew is good. My robonautics there. And then here, so you know where your thruster is. Okay. For the research action, you take the top card of a patent deck for your operation, including the bonus supports, and the cost will be the number of aquas equal to the number of cards taken. Okay, well that's good to know. Thanks. Like I said, we're still trying to figure this out. So then this would actually go over here. Alright, so we would put this here. Alright, let's go top down. So once you have your rocket, oh, you could put, when patent cards put into the slot, place a rocket figure on the appropriate map location. Yeah, okay, so we move that there. We would no longer be in our lower Earth orbit. So then, and again, I'm just kind of showing you a little bit here. There's a lot more to this. So our next turn, what would happen is we would move. We roll on the event, which I'll kind of show you the best. 2. Inspire. Put the topmost card of each patent deck at the bottom of the deck. So you get to see another card if you wanted to. So, ooh, that's a nice reactor, but it's heavy in mass, but good in rads. Ooh, do I want that? I sure do. I sure do. Oh, look at this thruster. Do I really want to hang around here and grab more? Alright. That's a shame because that goes underneath there. Alright. Boy, that's a good card too. It's going to add 4 mass. I could sell this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy that one. I really like that. Just for the rads. Alright. And the next year, and you can see where time starts to run out. 5, 6, turn to blue. Anarchy. Until Sunspot Cube exits the blue siege, each player lists its faction privilege is replaced by felonious action privilege. Ooh. Okay. So then we would come back here and we've already lost 1 cycle. So now this turn, I would sell this. I get 1 for the beginning of the turn. I would sell this for 3, which we would put on the bottom. And then I would have to pay the 4 mass to get into lower orbit. I almost want to replace this thruster. It would cost more in rads though. 4, 5, 6, 7. See, now this thing's getting too heavy. My thruster. I think I can outdo that. We'll figure it out. Hold on. So now another year would go. I think I'm going to buy this thruster, which means that you would get this card too, which I would get 1, but pay 2. All right. Yeah, because I think this does a better job. To get this into space, it would cost me 1, which would cost another cycle here. And then to get to sell this and this, which would save me 2 mass. Well, the first thing I would do is sell this at the beginning of the turn. Move this, would get 1 and get 3 for selling this. I know I'm messing this up, but I'm just trying to figure this out. And then there would be 1 mass to get it into space. That would move, and then I would pay 2 mass. I mean, I would get rid of this and sell this for 3 mass. Which again would be another cycle. Alright, so now, and just to give you a look, because I'm still trying to work things out in my head here. So we would total up our mass. 4, 5, 8, 9. So now we come up, we're net 1 thrust because we're a transport. Okay? We'd have everything that we need in space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. So we would go here. So that would give us plenty of fuel. So now we would try to plot our course, like I said. And this is where things get kind of crazy here. Well, let's go here. All right, so you can see right here where I'm going. So on the next turn, I have a thrust of 4. And it costs me 3 to burn. I can burn 4 thrusts in a single turn. Okay, so there we go. But it's -1 net thrust, so it's 3 because I'm in that transport. I'm just in that wrong area, just enough. So I can go 3 times. So now we would kind of figure where we need to go here. The first thing we would do is go there, and that would cost us 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. Then we'd come up the radiation belt. We would roll. Okay, 1. Now, if we roll 1, I think that's a disaster. +2 if in the sunspot cycle. Oh, we were in the sunspot cycle. So it's at 3. Now, do we have anything that is lower than a 3? Lower than a 3? No. We're safe with all our rads because it's 6, 3, which ties it, which is fine. We're not going to lose that. 5, 7, 4, 7. So we'd be able to get through that, I believe. Then, for our second burn, it would cost us 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Remember, we can only go 4. So now, from here, that doesn't cost anything. That doesn't cost anything. And then we would come here, perform our third burn. 1, 2, 3. That was 3, so it would cost us 3 aqua each time. No. It cost us 3 aqua to do the 3 burns. Third, and then we would come here, and that's where we would have to stop because you can't just take a sharp turn. The lines have to connect. If there's a space here, If you had a ballerina on the card, you would be able to make that turn, but we can't. So we have to stop right there. And then we would move a turn here. Alright, so now you would roll the die. And 3, glitch. Each player places a glitch disc on their stats with the most cards that has neither a glitch nor humans. Now that I'm not too sure on. Let me take a look at glitch. Flyby, cargo, transfer, site refuel, prospects, industrialize. Alright, so we're not even going to try to figure out glitch yet. But I would take some type of penalty on these cards. We'd move another space on here. All right, and we've only got 4 turns to do this, so it's impossible to do, because here's what happens. We would pay here, and then we would try to get in here, and you would have to roll a 1 to get onto this site, which we wouldn't. So we wouldn't be able to land on this rock, because on a 1S, which is really important, you have to roll a 1. On a 2, you have to roll a 1 or a 2. On a 3, 1, 2, or 3. So the higher the number, the easier to land on it. Okay? And also the easier way that you can claim it, because you could probably land on it, but you can't claim it unless you roll the appropriate number. So there's a whole thing that goes on here, and the complication is, it's something that you kind of got to go over. Now, what I suggest is try to figure out how to take a couple of hands or people and go through the space diamond. It's not that thick. It's only 7 pages long. So they kind of show you how to do it, where you can play, I would just go with 2 people and play it solo and try to figure it out. It also introduced these rocket missions. So what you're going to be able to do on each turn is you're going to draw a rocket mission, like this one here. Be the first to ISRU refuel a total of 13 steps or more on the same site without lifting off from it. And you would get 5 victory points for it. All right, just to show you the card here. So it really makes things a lot easier. Like I said, I keep on trying to play around with this because I'm so fascinated in this Hermes thing, where these 2 asteroids are headed towards Earth. But there are so many different things in here that really just make this game sing for you. And I really mean that. There's a race to Saturn for 2 or more people. A grand tour. Space exploration isn't about money. It's about discovery and glory. So you're trying to get glory. Okay, remember what we said about glory. That's these points right here. As you expand out, you can claim. The first person to go through those areas are going to be able to claim those. There's a nice quick start here. This is the one that I just can't get my head off of. Do not perform auctions. Prospect is automatic, which is good. To industrialize Hermes A or B, you need to actually decommission an Operation Dirt Rocket. Oh, a great triangle. So I don't think I have. Oh, I do have a dirt rocket. I have a dirt thruster here. So when you decommission something, it goes to this side, and yeah, now it's worth a lot more. When it's decommissioned, it goes back to Earth, believe it or not, or you can get it back to Earth. Industrialize both Hermes sites before the end of the game. And this is what just fascinates me about this. Earth is threatened by the binary asteroid Hermes. Your mission is to reach Hermes and build infrastructure needed to deflect the asteroid. Factories, embedded thrusters that can use the asteroid's own to deflect them from their current trajectory. Good luck and Godspeed. Then there's CEO. Every 12 years, the board meets to determine if the company's space program should continue or not based upon the achievements of the CEO. That's you. Make the company money and don't bring any bad publicity in the process. So really, really interesting. This, once you understand the full feel of the game, you can tackle that. There's Bios Earth, Bios Venus. Okay, you start in the primordial soup in the once and abundant oceans of Venus or Mars. Now it's time to expand the Venusian or Martians into the solar system before your oceans dry up, meaning your money. And there's just so much here. This is just amazing. Amazing. But I really suggest, especially after me just kind of flopping through this as horribly as I did, start here. Start here with the Space Diamonds. You're really going to be able to pick this up. You're going to pick a spacecraft card. There's going to be 5 spacecraft cards that are already made for you, I believe. And this is really going to break this game down for you. Hold on. Let me show you the spacecraft cards. Here we go. So this is where you're gonna have your dry mass. You're gonna set your dry mass already. It's already set, and then you can either use a nuclear rocket or solar. Solar is pretty amazing because you're really strong close to the sun, but as you go out, it loses a certain amount of power. And as you go into the vastness of space, well, solar power really isn't going to help you much. Okay? So you kind of want to get your rockets all in set. So what I think we're going to do is I'm going to keep on plugging away at this. We're going to jump around to a couple more space games because I'm just in that space game frame of mind, but this is not leaving my table for any time soon. Well, I mean, I'm going to have to put it aside. We're going to go with Space Empires next, and then I think we're going to do a couple other things that I'm really fascinated in. Some of the games that were mentioned here also. But I want to come back to this, and I'm going to run this 2 or 3 times by myself. And we're going to go through this and see where we can go with this. And I think that's the best way to kind of do this. I kind of gave you a quick rundown of what goes on here a bit. It's probably not the best one, but it gives you enough flavor where I think you kind of understand where you just can't put this down. This is a game that no matter how complicated, you can't put this down, and I can't put this down. That map, how you build your thrusters, your robonautics, the pure genius behind this game, and being able to try to absorb this. It's going to take a little bit, and it's going to take quite a few plays of that Space Diamond and then work my way around. And I think that's maybe the best way instead of trying to ram that one mission down that I really like. Now, I know people are going to make 5,000 corrections in the thing. That wasn't what this was about. I was just kind of showing you what I knew so far and where I was struggling and where I'm having a tough time. But I wanted to kind of show the things that I did understand to a degree, even though I wasn't doing them 100% correctly, is why I'm so fascinated in this. And how you're going through cycles and things are going to glitch. Things are, I didn't even show you half the symbols here where there's like little lunar modules where you're going to have to pay a cost thrust to try to land. And then on top of that, you got to make sure that you have the thrust to land on that area and be able to refuel. All right, because on these planets there's water, and water is fuel. So some planets there's dry there's dry matter. There's plenty of dirt on every planet. You can use that to try to get to build your engine and kind of get things going. And then you're going to decommission things and claim that area, and you're going to build an infrastructure where you can build parts at that particular part of the universe. Now you're going to be able to build a ship maybe from that particular planet and then expand outwards and industrialize, depending on what you're trying to attempt. It's a game that's complex, but it is a game that is probably as fascinating and as wonderful of a game as I've seen in quite a long time. I didn't even show you on this side. And let me show you here. Okay, over here, that as you discover things, okay, there's going to be tokens on here. And as you discover things and say, well, you know something? A carbon planet. Well, that's what the C stands for. So each letter stands for something. Stone, metal, festoid, dark, helium. Okay? As you land on these different areas, okay, and colonize on them or industrialize them, you're going to get certain victory points to be the first to do that. So if you're able to do that and you're the first, and the next person goes, well, they're only going to get 5 victory points. Okay, so it's a victory when you play against another person. It's very victory point heavy in how you like glory. Well, I was the first one to go out to Mars. I was the first one to go out to Saturn, and they're not that hard to get out there once you get and figure out how you want to build your creation here, or your rocket systems, and getting funding and different things that you want to do. This is just really something absolutely special, and it's been around for quite a few years, and it is something that I'm just completely fascinated with, and I won't let it go. There you go. So we're going to come back to it. We've got like 9,000 other things that we're getting into. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some painting, and I think you're going to want to be here tomorrow because we're giving away a mega paint set from Army Painter. So that's a good reason to like this video, because I just told you that. So not a lot of people are going to know about it. But we're going to be talking about, with everything going on in the world, if you want to be able to paint, what's affordable and what and how to go about it. And plus, I'm going to try to paint something, which, with the arm, it's been a while. So tomorrow, definitely want to be here. It's either tomorrow or Tuesday. One of the hardest games. It's hard, Charles, and usually you're negative on anything I do anyways. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it if you have a passion for space and things like that. And for me, with the incredible passion that I have for outer space games, this is brilliant. It's brilliant, for somebody that's not intellectually there, but it's enough that if you have the right person explaining it to you, that after a while, once you get it, I just think it's one of those games that you'll never let go, and that's how I feel about it. And I'm not even doing that. Charles, stop it. Good to see you, Charles. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well, and hope your New Year's getting off to a good start. So there you have it. I really, I didn't even scratch the surface. I didn't even do things right. There were things that I said, oh shoot, I'm missing something here, and forgive me, but it's a game I'm excited to show you, and I think that if you just get a flavor of it, and go check out I'm sure there's other sites out there that have covered this game. Go check them out and find out what this game's really about. But it's something I wanted to bring forward and put into a video, because I really believe that this is something special. And just learning about it here in 2021 when it's been out since 2010. Um, for me, I feel like I've been missing something, and that's a great joy. That really is. When you can feel that you've missed something, and in a world where everything's, well, here's the latest, uh, you know, um, resource management game or deck builder or whatever, and then you find something like this that just really, even though I don't get it as much as I should, it really, it really breathes life in me, and I guess that's a wrong way to put it, but it's something that I'm so fascinated with it. I can't let this go. So I do plan on trying to do a better job with it. We've got a busy week. The last couple of days have been very hard. Those of you that have been around for a while, Cthulhu Kitty is very, very sick and it doesn't look like she's going to make it. We had hope the other day after it cost me $600, but one of the most famous cats on here and was in videos all the time with her stupid tail, she's reaching the end of her existence, and it's very painful for my daughter. It's very painful for me. We're trying everything that we can. I'd rather not buy games for 4 or 5 months than to have her just go. I want her to stay, but we'll see what we can do. I'm very hopeful that we can keep her around. So videos have been, I've had a video every day, but honestly I wanted to do some live things and kind of go things, but unfortunately life gets in the way a lot. It does, especially when you have family and grandchildren and all the other things. So we try to do our best. I hope the next time I go, I don't know if I'll be able to go on tomorrow because she's really in bad shape, and I just may have to, I don't think I'll be in the mood for it, but either Monday or Tuesday we'll be doing a paint thing. We're going to have to make a hard decision in the next couple hours to 24 hours. And I just wanted to come online, show you this, try to take my mind off things a little bit. I want to thank you all for being here and helping me with that. I may not have given you the best look at this, but I really showed you how beautiful this is. And if you see this map and you feel the passion and you feel the same wonderment that I did when I saw this map, go out and get this game. And start exactly where they tell you to and walk through instead of trying to jump ahead like I do. Oh my God, I also have lost 2 cats in under 6 months. Yeah, it's not easy. They are your family. They're not just animals. They are a form. They're like our children, and I don't even kill a bug because I believe everything should have a right to live as much as it possibly could. Of course, law of nature and all that other stuff, natural selection. That's just life. But it doesn't mean it makes you feel any better. It doesn't mean it makes you feel good. I never take anything for granted. I'm not a hunter. If people want to hunt, that's fine. I understand it. But for me, it's a little different. My animals are very, very important to me, as well as anything or anything I see in our yard, deer, cats, eagles, and bear, even the snakes and the alligators. They have their place here, and I don't think they should be messed with just because they're a nuisance to us. Listen, don't bother me, I won't bother you, that kind of thing. But with certain things. But we're hopeful. So it's been a tough weekend. So I'm sorry I haven't been here as much as I would like to. You know how much this channel means to me, and spending time with you guys means to me. But we'll do our very best, and that's for sure. So hopefully I will see you soon with the numb arm and all. And we have a bunch of things coming up. Warhammer Quest. We got the new Warhammer Quest coming soon. We've got Madeira coming. Dungeon Crusade coming very soon. We got a lot of things that we're going to share with you. I really hope that you guys spend some time with us each and every time. And I think my pup's coming. So until next time, it's your old Power On. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take it easy, everybody. What about
anything that is any reason to.